Hello, everybody. Super Tooth Boy here, and today I'm doing a mostly spoiler-free review for Godzilla AfterShock. I will have a spoiler discussion at the end, but I will warn if you haven't seen it yet. Then I will warn you when I start talking about the spoilers. So this overall is a pretty decent book, pretty good. It definitely expands the MonsterVerse, gives us a lot of background information and just new info on the Mutos and what they are. This book, comic, whatever you want to call it, this story does not waste time. I'll say that. 2014, I love that movie, but it definitely really does drag on the Godzilla 2014 movie. It takes forever to get to some serious monster action, and this book, this one just does not waste time. It's like boom, here's a fight, here's some monsters, here's Muto Prime, and it's really awesome. It seems like King of the Monsters will be the same, which is great. Muto Prime as a villain, she's a pretty good villain. She's pretty menacing and powerful, and has an interesting enough. It has actually a pretty good motivation for what she does. But yeah, this book definitely expands the MonsterVerse, and some stuff I didn't even really expect happens. Because there's some stuff I didn't really expect to happen, and some stuff that's like, ooh, whoa, I didn't know that was gonna happen. The artwork in this, though, I will say, it's really nice to look at. The artwork is actually really, really good, especially with Muto Prime and Godzilla. They look so good. Now, this features many human characters of Monarch, and they go on their journey, and it's kind of like Monarch is pretty good in this, as they're just like this team going on this adventure. They have Emma Russell and some other characters. They were pretty good. Emma Russell is pretty good. We get to know a little bit about her, and it prepares for King of the Monsters very well. Now, this definitely feels more like a sequel to 2014 than a prequel to 2019. It feels very connected to Godzilla 2014, while only having like a few references to King of the Monsters. Though it does have some references, like there's some stuff that they show pretty obviously. It's like, ooh, it's that guy from King of the Monsters. There's some really, really awesome references in this story. So yeah, it's overall pretty good. There's some exciting fights. There's some exciting fights with Godzilla, and it actually explains a few things and a few changes to Godzilla that happened in 2019. So yeah, it explains that, which is awesome. I think they did a lot of things really well for preparing for King of the Monsters. And it's just pretty good. What else does this have? It a long time ago we learned that King of the Monsters will have at least one character from Kong Skull Island returning, and this book pretty much confirms who it's going to be. I'm not going to say who it is if you haven't seen it yet. Yeah, this pretty much confirms definitely who it is going to be. So that's mostly my review. There's one thing I wish they did differently that would have been a little more shocking and surprising, which I'll talk about in my spoiler discussion. But yeah, overall, pretty well-rounded book with some interesting, human characters, lots of setup for King of the Monsters, more info on the Mutos and all of that. And yeah, you definitely don't want to miss it because it expands from the MonsterVerse. And it also has callbacks and references to Skull Island Birth of Kong. So that's that. It seems like that comic's going to be a big part of the MonsterVerse, and all of these comics and books are. So when it comes to my final rating on this, my final score, I'm going to give it a 7.75 out of 10. Now that's really specific, but I have very specific thoughts on this. I don't think it's quite good enough to be an 8, but I feel like 7.5 is a little low. So in between is 7.75. Yeah, it's pretty good. Muta Prime overall, like, she was definitely cool and menacing. I just wish she had more time in the comic. It would have been nice if they spent some more time with Muto Prime and just her going around, and Godzilla spent more time with her. I think well, I was gonna say something, but maybe I'll save that for spoiler discussion. I think there's a few little like scenes they could have added with the monsters that also would connect to King of the Monsters that they didn't, so they missed that opportunity. But overall, it's pretty cool. Monster fights, For a comic, the monster fights are quite engaging, and let me just say, Godzilla does some really cool moves that you have never seen before. I've never seen before. It's really unique, some stuff he does in this. And for humans who we spend a lot of the journey with, they're pretty good. They're fine. Some of them are kind of like not in King of the Monsters or 2014, so it's a little like confusing who they are, but it works. It's a pretty good. I had a good time reading it and all of that. So yeah, I'm going to transition into spoilers. So yeah. Okay, so I assume everybody who is still here has seen it, and now I'm going to be talking about a few things about spoilers and stuff. Now, one thing that was really interesting was Houston Brooks' cameo. I think that's his name. He said that they found his son, which hopefully they show in Godzilla vs. Kong. But yeah, I guess they got him off the island somehow. That was quite a surprising moment. I'm sorry. No, stupid computer noises. So yeah, that was really interesting. I liked his cameo. It was really cool to see him there. My favorite little reference, though, was definitely the Ghidorah in the background in the scene with first scene with Madison Russell. That's just so cool. I'm so glad they added that. It makes the MonsterVerse feel more connected. That they're aware of King Ghidorah all the way back in 2014. Pretty sure I guess they were aware of him back then. So yeah, that's a really cool reference. What other spoiler stuff I have to talk about? I will talk about the one complaint I have a little later. Though, the way Godzilla loses his spines in the fight against Muta Prime, that's awesome. That's a great way to explain his spine changes in King of the Monsters. I wouldn't have thought of that, but destroying his spines and then him getting new spines is pretty awesome. And I like how this book doesn't really create the plot hole of like it was confirmed a while back that in King of the Monsters, humanity hasn't seen Godzilla since 2014. And I was worried that this book would break that continuity, but no, this takes place in 2014 after the events of the movie. Here's something I kind of forgot to mention in my the spoiler-free part, but yeah, I like how this is definitely connected well to 2014. You can definitely feel the effects of that. Now, onto my one complaint, which is the when it goes back in time in those parts. I think it would have been better if Godzilla had died then. Now you might be like, wait, what? What? That doesn't make sense. But if Godzilla had actually died and Muto Prime planted eggs inside him, but then it was revealed that was actually a different Godzilla and it was the same one in the Philippines. That would have been an interesting twist. That would have been a lot more surprising. Instead, as it doesn't really make sense, why didn't Muta Prime just didn't have eggs then, so Godzilla got lucky and survived? Is that why he's fine? That's not really the greatest explanation. I think it should have just been a different Godzilla. We got to see what happened there. But nope, they went with the normal Godzilla, which, okay, that's fine. Just a little bit of nitpick. One other thing is, in my spoiler-free segment of this review, I said that Godzilla did something really cool, and if you have seen it, you most likely know what I'm talking about, and that's his finishing move that he used against Muto Prime. Now, this was really, really cool. It was a little predictable. I did see it coming. The whole book as itself wasn't really predictable. They kind of went to just random locations. But yeah, you did kind of see it coming what his final finishing move was going to be. But it still was really epic what he did and how he killed off Muta Prime. I guess I expected her to die, but I kind of wish they would just keep some villains around. I don't understand why Muta Prime's kind of like a coward. She kind of just digs away and hides. Muta Prime, she was menacing, but I think she could have been better, and maybe if they show her, I didn't feel like she really wanted vengeance for her children's death that much. Also, yeah, Hakmuto and Femmuto are siblings. That's a little, that's actually very weird. I kind of knew this for a while, but that doesn't make me happy, regardless if I knew it for a while or not. I did like the scene though where they were brainstorming, or theorizing and stuff about what the Mutos are and what they do. And how it was in the past when the Mutos had taken over. that was a pretty cool scene. We knew what happened. The Mutos apparently had taken over the world, and then Muto Prime was the winner out of that. And like they say how powerful she was back then, but even though she like attacked humans, destroyed submarines, she didn't really do anything that was like, wow, she's powerful in this. But yeah, Godzilla's finishing move was awesome. And one more thing I did say in my spoiler-free discussion area part of my spoilerless part was that a few more scenes with just the monsters would come a long way, because Godzilla kind of just pops up, fights Muta Prime, hides again, comes up and fights, hides, comes up and fights, and then he wins. Yay, walks away, and it's over. Okay, so sorry for the abrupt interruption. This is, of course, recorded after. I paused. I was just taking a little picture of Godzilla's temple from trailer 1 for this video to show you what I'm about to talk about. And I paused at the perfect moment, like right before it got super bright, and I paused at the perfect moment. And I don't know if anybody else has seen this. Probably somebody has. Probably somewhere there. But you can actually see Godzilla right there in the middle. I have never noticed this. The trailer 1 has been around for 10.5 months. And well, I have not noticed it until now. It looks pretty cool. He's just sitting there right before the nuke goes off. So I thought I might as well just point that out. Anyways, back to the review. One scene that I really would have liked to seen is, and would have also been a nice connection to a nice tie-in with King of the Monsters, is if they had a part where Godzilla swam and went into his underwater temple hideout sort of place where we see briefly in Godzilla King of the Monsters. This would have been great. Just see him resting there and looking around, maybe seeing his past, like little statues and stuff, and feeling like, wow, I used to be a god, but now I'm getting hit by missiles. That would have been a nice scene. I think they kind of limited themselves. I hope they don't do this anymore, because they do limit themselves with the amount of pages. They want to have a consistent amount of pages, which I think is like 60 or something. This could have used maybe like 10, maybe not 10, like, yeah, 10, 15 to give it to 75. Like 15 more pages, just for like more monsters. Just like, I like monster fights a lot, but they needed some more scenes with them on their own, and the world reacting to them, all of that. But yeah, that is about it for my spoiler talk and my total review. It is very awesome, and I forgot to give it a final verdict. I'll probably edit it into the end of my spoiler-free review part. But, I'm just going to say it again. I will give it a 7.7 out of 10. I liked it. It was pretty good. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.